My friends, we now arrive at the seventh great principle, one that separates those who merely think from those who act, one that distinguishes hesitation from power and intention from results. This principle is decision. As emphasized in Think and Grow Rich, the ability to make firm, definite decisions is not a minor trait. It is a defining characteristic of all successful individuals. For it is not enough to desire success. It is not enough to believe in it. It is not even enough to plan for it. There must come a moment, clear, unwavering, and decisive, when you commit. Understand this. Indecision is the silent enemy of progress. It delays action. It creates doubt, it weakens confidence, and over time, it quietly erodes your ability to achieve anything of significance. Now consider this carefully. Every successful individual has developed the habit of making decisions promptly and changing them slowly. The unsuccessful, on the other hand, make decisions slowly and change them quickly. This is not coincidence. This is a pattern. Indecision creates instability, and instability destroys momentum. When you hesitate, you invite doubt. When you delay, you lose opportunity. When you waver, you weaken your own authority. But when you decide, fully and without hesitation, you activate something powerful within yourself. Clarity emerges. Confidence increases. Action becomes inevitable. Now let us begin with a fundamental truth. A decision is not merely a thought, it is a commitment. It is the moment you eliminate alternatives. The moment you say, "This is the path I will follow." And in doing so, you remove distraction. You remove uncertainty. You remove the constant pull of "what if?" Most people never reach this level of commitment. They remain in a state of perpetual consideration, always thinking, always analyzing, always waiting for the perfect moment. But understand this, the perfect moment does not exist. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be risk. There will always be incomplete information. And those who wait for certainty, wait forever. Now reflect on this. How many opportunities have been lost, not because of lack of ability, but because of hesitation? How many ideas were never executed, not because they were flawed, but because they were never acted upon? Indecision is not harmless. It is costly. It steals time. It steals momentum. It steals potential. Now let us go deeper. Decision requires courage, because to decide is to accept responsibility. You can no longer blame circumstances. You can no longer wait for permission. You can no longer rely on others to determine your direction. You must stand firmly in your choice and move forward. This is why so many avoid it. It is easier to delay than to commit, easier to doubt than to act. Easier to remain uncertain than to risk being wrong. But understand this, temporary mistakes are far less damaging than permanent indecision. A wrong decision can be corrected. A delayed decision often cannot. Opportunity does not wait. Now consider another critical truth. The opinions of others are one of the greatest sources of indecision. People hesitate, not because they lack knowledge, but because they fear judgment. They worry about what others will say, what others will think, what others might believe if they fail. And in doing so, they surrender their power. My friends, if you allow the opinions of others to control your decisions, you will never truly control your life. You must develop the ability to think independently, to evaluate information, to trust your judgment, to decide based on your vision, not the fears of those around you. This does not mean ignoring wisdom. It means refusing to be paralyzed by doubt. Seek counsel, but make your own decisions. Now let us turn inward. Ask yourself, do I make decisions quickly and confidently, or do I hesitate, delay, and second-guess myself? Do I trust my judgment, or do I rely on others to validate my choices? Do I commit fully, or do I leave room for retreat? Your answers to these questions will reveal more about your future than any external condition, because your life is shaped not by chance, but by the decisions you make consistently over time. Now understand this. Decision is closely tied to persistence. The moment you decide, you will be tested. Challenges will appear. Difficulties will arise. Doubt will attempt to return. And in those moments, many retreat. They mistake temporary discomfort for failure. They interpret resistance as a sign to stop. But the disciplined individual understands something different. Resistance is not a signal to quit. It is a signal to persist. A true decision is not easily reversed. It is reinforced through action, strengthened through discipline, proven through persistence. Now let us connect this principle to those that came before it. Desire provides the goal. Faith provides the belief. Autosuggestion reinforces that belief within the subconscious mind. Specialized knowledge provides the tools. Imagination provides the plan. Organized planning structures that plan into action. But decision initiates the process. It is the moment where everything shifts from potential to reality. Without decision, nothing begins. With decision, everything becomes possible. Now remember this, decision requires discipline. You must train yourself to act, to commit, to move forward without constant hesitation. In a world filled with distraction, this discipline is rare. Many people gather information endlessly, but never act on it. They prepare, but never begin. They think, but never decide. Do not fall into this pattern. At some point, preparation must end and execution must begin. So take control of your mind, trust your judgment, define your direction, and decide. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Because momentum begins with a single decision, and once that decision is made, action follows. Now understand this as well. Confidence is not built before action, it is built through action. You do not wait until you feel ready, you act and readiness develops. You do not wait until fear disappears, you act and fear diminishes. You do not wait until everything is certain, you act and clarity emerges. This is how progress is made, not through perfect conditions, but through decisive action. Now consider this final thought. You do not rise to the level of your intentions, you fall to the level of your decisions. Your future is not determined by what you wish for, it is determined by what you choose. So choose with clarity, choose with conviction, choose with courage, and once you have chosen, commit fully. For those who develop the habit of decision, who act without hesitation and persist without retreat, inevitably move forward in life. Not because the path was easy, not because the outcome was guaranteed, but because they refused to remain uncertain. They understood something that most never fully grasp. Success is not reserved for the most talented. It is claimed by the most decisive. Those who act, those who commit, those who move forward despite uncertainty. So decide, and in that moment, you take control. Now understand this, each decision you make shapes your identity. You are not defined by what you think about doing, but by what you actually choose to do. Every decision builds evidence. Evidence creates belief, and belief reinforces action. This is the cycle of growth. Break indecision and you break limitation. Strengthen decision and you strengthen direction. Over time, your decisions begin to align with your purpose. And when that alignment occurs, progress accelerates. So remain intentional, remain disciplined, remain decisive. Because the life you seek is not waiting, it is responding. Responding to your actions, responding to your commitment, responding to your decisions. Make them count. Understand this as well. Clarity grows with repetition. Each decisive action strengthens your ability to decide again. Momentum is not accidental. It is created through consistent choice. So build that momentum daily, through small decisions, through consistent action, through unwavering commitment. And over time, you will no longer struggle to decide. You will expect yourself to act. My friends, we shall meet again in the next lesson where we explore Principle 8, persistence. Be well and have a good day.